The Ash, Lutzi and Susie Snackbox.
I said burn! It's cold in here. I said there must be some content in the atmosphere. Here we go.
All right, we got producers in.
These should be great today because they've had a couple of weeks to save all their good stories, pitch us some good gear. So we've got Nick against Alicia. All right.
Here we go. 5 seconds, Nick. His head's in the game. It starts now.
The viral sensation of 2024 finally gets the treatment she deserves.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Do you?
I
I'm impressed.
don't.
I don't either.
This is everything for Nick. You saw how he prepared for a
Yes.
Division 4 grand final.
Like, he had a chance to talk on air then
Yeah,
and gave it up
exactly.
beforehand. Like,
Oh,
that's-
yeah, good point.
He never does that.
Never does that.
All right, Alicia, you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
AFL spat with Katy Perry revealed ahead of grand final performance.
Oh, I know this one actually as well. That's a good one. Oh,
They're
actually,
both strong.
if you don't win that, maybe I'll do that in my spot.
Well, I'm gonna go for Nick then.
Okay, I'll go, Alicia.
Oh, good. I'm going to go Nick, and I'm going to steal it.
I'll print off the bullet points for you, Sue.
At 650.
Oh, that's good. That's a good snitch right there.
I've got to say,
But Alicia, that's what it's all about. You brought gear to the table.
It's a good
it's been
story.
And that's it.
put up in A grade.
Can you get the clips as well, please?
And print out a little script. Well, actually, just pass what you were going to say over to Suze. She'll read it. I bet you I know what you were on
I
about.
was going to say 5 in a row feels very good. Ash, what was I going to talk about?
Hock tour.
Incorrect. That was the mislead, and I got you. No, but it does reveal the incredible nature of the internet. We cannot control what goes viral, as we saw. Hock Tour Girl, which really should have learnt from the Bart Simpson I Didn't Do It episode over 30 years ago. You have your moment of fame, and then you kind of move on. Right now, the
She's
internet...
still going, though.
A little editorial from Nick.
Yeah,
What was that? I didn't,
read my column, the Courier Mail.
I didn't do it. Nobody said we do it.
No, so she's now got a podcast now, but...
No, is that what the Bart Simpson thing was?
Oh, yeah, so about
Yeah.
30 years ago, there was an episode of The Simpsons where Bart had a catchphrase.
I didn't do it. Nobody said we do it.
I didn't
you
do
can't
it.
prove anything.
No,
Is that it?
no, it was just, I didn't do it. And then
Oh.
he spent the
He
next...
did say that as well.
It was a great exploration of 15 seconds of fame. And eventually it dies out. Right now, the internet is going nuts for a tiny hippo in a Thai zoo called Moo Deng. Now, right now, this is all over TikTok. You guys will see it on Instagram in probably a couple of weeks' time. Just the way it works. And it has now got its own 24-hour-long, a day,
little baby.
live feed. This beautiful,
Little
tiny little baby hippo.
I've seen it, yeah.
Wow.
There we go. And right now, the internet is going nuts for it. And it has knocked Hock Tour Girl off the internet, and now people are screaming about this. We cannot truly control what happens on the net. And now...
I didn't do it.
That's it. That's the one. So now, the internet's obsessed with a hippo, and I've now got to think about how this affects our content and what I put on the show, and how I somehow work this hippo into what we do to somehow keep selling our show with the internet and a hippo.
how do you do
This is
that?
tough for me. I don't know.
What sort of viewage is it getting? What do you mean by it goes
Like,
viral?
we are
millions and
we're
millions?
talking now, millions of people a day are tuning into the live feed of this baby hippo in its zoo enclosure. Now, not unseen before. We've seen this in Australia Zoo. We've seen this around the world. But right now, it just proves that we cannot control what's out there on the internet. For example, we know that there are, if you go looking for something, you might find a GPS cross-country record from the 90s. We might find an Australian indie film from the 2000s, which really deserves more accolades. Or we might find out that in
Subdivision.
or we might find out that in 1998, a certain Australian golden girl was about to have her own line of homewares to become Australia's next Martha Stewart.
Is that right?
That'll be revealed at a later time.
You've been way richer
Jeez,
than
you
this.
know more about us than we do.
It's my job. That's my job.
He also had yesterday off, so he's had plenty of time to,
Yes, I
to
have.
prep.
He spent the 2 weeks wisely.
Can we get the hippo feed on that TV?
Yeah, let's
behind
get it
us?
up now.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie Snackbox.
So, Lutzi, I know that you spoke about going to that Silly Solly's yesterday when you're on holidays
Yeah, I was down at Coolangatta.
down at Coolangatta, but how did you come about getting Silly Solly's number?
I didn't. Lockie came to me late yesterday in our afternoon meeting that you guys don't come to and said, look, there's a website, well, whatever, I guess it was a Silly Solly one, where it literally says 24/7 call Solly. Well, you can't just call Solly from Silly Solly's.
No.
So we thought we'd try it.
Here we go.
Let's have a go.
Yeah.
Hello.
Solly,
Yes.
it's Lutzi from Nova Radio in Brizzy.
Yeah, how are you, buddy?
Good, mate. It's just actually, I was down at Coolangatta during the week, had a week off, and was blown away by Silly Sollies at Cooley. Are you actually Solly?
Yeah.
Are you Solly?
Yeah, mate, I am. I'm a has-been now, but we're looking for wannabes.
Man, that Coolangatta store's off the chart. I had a field
Yes.
day in there.
Mate, 10,000 products, nothing over $5.
Where did
I
you?
tell you what you haven't seen, we're doing frozen now in selected stores. Nothing over $5, yeah.
Like what?
Where do you get all the gear from?
Oh, mate, everywhere. There's plenty of gear. Well, that's why they had the Senate inquiry, so the cost of living. I mean, but, mate, we've been putting smile on people's faces for the last 4 or 5 years, so we just thought there was a need to come back as resurrectors, nothing over $5 shop, and mainly to take the online shopping out of it. Like, everyone complains if they're doing no good. Oh, online shopping are killing us. Well, we don't have any complaints about that because they're not standing in front of a $1 or $2 item, taking a picture on their phone and checking it with Amazon and Harvey Norman and anybody else, right?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I totally agree.
So we're making shopping great again. Yeah,
So you're you're Solly, right?
yeah I am, yeah.
So when were you
Yeah.
Silly Sollies when you started in
Oh,
rock?
yeah. I know I'm silly. Come and see why. Yes, it was me. I used to do all the TV ads, but as I said, do all the radio ads and do all that. Sometimes I still do them. It depends.
And with your phone number on the website or wherever we found it, do you get many phone calls of people like us or customers?
Absolutely. Every day. Well, I like to, as I said, each store's so busy. Oh, look, I get 7 or 8 phone calls a day, not only from franchisees, but from people wanting to know, do you have tutus in stock at Yarrabilba? or when are you opening in WA? Oh, you wouldn't believe it. I just left Robina and I left my purse on the counter. Or, there's just ringing up. Have you got those $5 curtains in stock? Yes, of course we have. Yeah.
Holy shit! Just sorry to butt in for it, but just as an example, it's got. I just jumped on your website. It's got like a packet of M&Ms, like a stock standard packet of M&Ms. He sells a box of M&Ms.
Yeah, we're selling a box.
12 packets of M&Ms.
At the moment, $5. Yeah. At the moment, we've got the box of roses, Cadbury Roses chocolates, which are synonymous. 420 gram, $18 in the big stores. Stuff the supermarkets. I love that. We're selling them for $5. Some of this stuff is cheap enough. Take it home and just throw it at the cat to make the baby laugh. People ask us all the time, where do you get the stuff from? How come it's so cheap? Well, it fell off the back of a low-flying jumbo last night. We shouted to the pilot, but we didn't quite shout loud enough, see?
Oh, this is the best, man.
Oh, we found ourselves a live one. Silly Solly, who knew?
Good on you, brother. Well, you made my day better. And like honestly, down in Cooley, there was a couple of and there were a couple of people there that you could tell weren't travelling too well. That had big smiles on their faces too, mate. So
Well,
on you.
that's what we're there for. Everyday Australians, that's what we're there for. We're making shopping great again.
Good on you, brother. Good man. We'll
Okay,
we'll stay
hey,
in touch with you.
you guys have a great day, eh?
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie Snackbox.
Katy Perry, she's going to be performing at the grand final.
Yeah, she's playing what?
She's playing the AFL grand final
I'm going, by the way. I'm going.
Oh, my God, how good.
Yep.
Well, there's been a bit of controversy around it, though.
Oh, what's the problem?
Because the AFL booked her and they obviously wanted to play all her bangers. They said, we only want your bangers, they said.
Fair enough. In my mind, it's like...
Imagine if Richmond were playing and she was singing.
Oh,
this
yeah.
What's that?
Well, they're the Tigers.
More.
But in my mind, they're paying her money. Like it's like they're hiring her for a wedding. So you get to choose what she plays.
Yeah, well, they reckon
I agree with that.
They reckon they're paying her about $5 million. But maybe
Okay, well that's a big wedding.
But maybe for her, she's like, could take it or leave $5 million. If I'm going to play, I want to promote my new songs as well. So it's been a bit of back and forth.
So what are they going to do?
She wanted to play 2 of her new songs, but they've agreed on 1 of her new songs. So they want her to play Firework. They want her to play. Have you got Raw?
I'm playing it.
Yeah, big fan of hers.
Massive.
I should say though,
So what else has she got? Firework.
she's got Teenage
Well,
Dream.
you know that song, Raw? This is it.
She's got Teenage Dream.
Teenage Dream.
Sorry, I was like, there you go.
What about the one where she kisses a girl?
I kissed a girl and I liked it.
Yeah, but what about the song?
So
Is
hang
this
on,
getting a run?
Are you rattling one she's going to play, or you don't know?
I don't know. I'm just speculating. She's going to play 5 songs. She's going to play 4 old ones, and she's going to play 1 new one from her album 143.
I reckon it'll be Lifetimes.
Yeah,
This will be the new one she plays. It's a vibe. That's a cool song.
yeah. This album hasn't got a lot of good critical reviews.
Oh, I've heard this.
I think it's good.
Yeah, it's not as if she's just playing.
I
something.
haven't heard this. This will sound random to me.
I think you'll hear it on like.
The,
I think we play it, but you might hear it on like a promo.
This song?
Yeah.
No, you'll hear it on Ash Lutzy and Susie O'Neill. 6 a.m. weekdays. Yeah, we play it on the show.
The annoying thing that she is doing, though, which is what I've got annoyed about, is that she's going to rehearse Katy Perry on the Thursday.
Yeah.
And that was when the Lions were meant to do their last big training session
Oh,
at the
Captain's
MCG. No, they're still going to do
okay.
They're still going to do a light captain's run on the Friday, but the Lions wanted to do a really big training run on the Thursday at the MCG. Cancelled. They can't do it because Katy Perry is rehearsing for the concert.
Why can't she go at a different time?
Because she's Katy Perry.
Because she's
I don't
Katy
know.
Perry, yeah. I should mention as well that Cody Simpson's
Yeah.
is doing the anthem.
National anthem, yeah.
National
That's a
anthem.
good gig for him too.
Yeah.
But no, I was just going to say, I actually can't believe that Katy Perry outranks the Brisbane Lions on grand
That is
final
pretty crazy.
week.
Yeah, it is weird, isn't it?
So
I
where are they going
suppose-
to train?
It didn't say. It just said in the article I read. It said that I'm just looking at Nick in case he knows. They're upset that because they can't do their big.
Well,
training
their
run.
last real training
Yeah.
sessions on Thursday, where they're running out and getting a feel for the ground.
Yeah, yeah. But back to the concerts, because I went to the AFL Grand Final 2 years ago, exactly on this day. Actually, it came up in my photo memories, and Robbie Williams was the performer before it, who was awesome. Here's a bit of him performing.
Can you hear me?
He's great.
Do you feel me? I don't wanna rock, DJ.
That would have been huge.
Yeah.
It was so good. I mean, and I don't know if I should say this because
Well,
I am
you
an
did.
athlete, but I almost enjoy the performances more than
The
the actual game. Like it's like a Robbie Williams concert.
Yeah.
Why was I there? I was doing a work function before it.
Cha-ching. Cashy.
But he
Very
also had to play one of his new songs, and this is him announcing it.
Are relentless, abandoning the permafrost. The obligatory new song, we'll get through it together.
Well, no, at least he's honest about it.
That's pretty funny, isn't it? The new song.
Obligatory new song. We'll get through it.
Because no one knew
This,
it.
this goes for 2 minutes, by the way.
Can anyone remember who performed last year before the AFL Grand Final?
Kiss.
I was asking everyone here, Nick. I knew
Oh,
that you would know
Nick.
the answer.
I was there.
Get him away from the microphone.
I was there, and I didn't even listen to it. I went inside the bar because there was no lineup as Kiss was playing.
God.
Yeah, I reckon
I
I
never
would
would have got that. Kiss played last year.
Yeah, I was
Past
just
year.
surprised too.
I wouldn't have got it. No, I was there.
I went to the
I've forgotten.
NRL grand final. I couldn't tell you who that was. Who was that last year?
Yeah, I was there. No idea.
Everyone's scared to talk.
No, Nick will know. You,
Right,
no,
Nick.
Nick. No, come on.
Yeah,
I'm just
what?
joking. I'm joking. I like.
Oh, hang on.
I like
I
you
know.
contributing.
I went a couple of years
He
ago. And it
knows
was
the
my boys.
answer.
One Republic, but that was
Wasn't Tina last
not
year, was it?
Oh,
The
it was
musical?
Tina Turner. That it wasn't
Oh.
her.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was Tina
yeah.
Turner's, Tina Turner's dead.
Yeah.
It was a Tina Turner impersonator. Come on, NRL.
Does anyone know who it is?
Is that
this
who
year?
it was last year?
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
actually was. I
God.
went inside of the bar for that as well.
Okay. No one answered this one. I mean, Nick, don't answer this one. Everyone else try and answer. Who's doing the NRL pre-game grand final
Oh, we
this year?
I'll
spoke
shut up
about
as well.
that. Yeah.
Oh, you know
Who
it.
is it?
Kid Leroy.
Yeah.
Oh, to the kid.
So who do you reckon will be better, Kid Leroy or Katy Perry?
Well, I mean, you're a Kid fan, but Katy Perry's a pretty
Kid
huge
Leroy fan. Can we
act.
just...
What?
You're a fan of Kid.
What?
A Kid Leroy fan. You're a father, mate.
You fair.
What's wrong with being a Kid Leroy fan?
No, don't worry. And Katy Perry. I still think you're more likely to buy someone's album if you just play your bangers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
If she just
You're more
knocks,
likely
if
to
he
check
knocks
out
the
her
socks
new-
off,
her
you
new
go,
work,
okay,
yeah.
she got some new stuff, and they'll put on, ladies and gentlemen, Katy Perry's new album is on sale, and on the big screen.
Yeah.
Do you really need? And I reckon, as Robbie Williams did, he regretted playing the new one as soon as he started playing it.
Yeah.
Because he watches everyone leaving their seats.
But they're pushed into it by the
true.
record execs too, because the record exec says, "Look, we'll get it to her, but you have to do this." I get your point though. I think it is a better way to promote it by just showing
just
how
being
good you
awesome.
have been.
Yeah.
It's fully set up like a concert as well. The Robbie Williams one had fireworks and stages. I mean, talk about affecting the game or the players. Like, it was all stuff all over the field. I don't know if it would have dented all the ground.
I think the AFL will put on a better performance than the NRL will.
Yeah. And also, how long do you reckon the AFL Grand Final will be in the afternoon? That's a big, it's hanging in there, isn't it?
Oh, that traditional
Yeah.
time
Yeah,
slot
yeah,
rather than
2
move to
o'clock.
a nighttime grand final. Well,
Yeah.
didn't they do it when we played it up
in
at the
Brisbane.
Gabba? That was a nighttime grand
I think.
final. Yeah.
I was there again, I forget.
I think there's a couple of reasons why it's early in Melbourne, to do with the entertainment afterwards and the cut-off when the noise is around the area, because that's one thing with having an inner-city stadium. So they have heaps of
Yes.
corporate
Restrictions.
and events around
Yeah, yeah,
AFL.
yeah,
So they have after parties, and they have to be finished pretty early, like I'm trying to say 10 or 10:30, because of.
Yeah.
So that's one reason why they say it'll stay at 2 o'clock.
Well, two big artists anyway, NRL and AFL Grand Final, Katy Perry and Kid Laroi.
The Ashlatzy and Susie Snackbox.
All right, P. Diddy, as you all know, is one of the biggest, most successful music moguls in the history of rap. And he was arrested last week. He's been charged with, among other things, sex trafficking and racketeering. And a lot of people are not aware of what's been going on and what's happening at the moment. He's in prison or jail, whatever they call
One
it.
of those
over
New
at the
York
moment.
sort of prisons, those city prisons.
Yeah, just outside in Brooklyn actually,
Yeah.
and it's a notorious place where bad things happen, and that's where he's being held under suicide watch at the moment. And David Woodward is the 7 News US bureau chief, so I imagine this has been taking up a fair bit of your time. I know you got the election and everything else going on there, but it was huge news last week. David, good morning, mate. Can you bring us up to date as to exactly what's going on with P. Diddy?
Yeah, good morning, guys. Good morning. Yeah, well, as you point out there, P. Diddy right now is in that New York prison. He had applied for bail. He had put up $50 million to try and get that bail application over the line. Look, it was denied by that judge last week after this indictment was unsealed against him. And as you point out, it's pretty damning. It's the racketeering and conspiracy and sex trafficking charges that have now been levelled against P. Diddy. So, look, he has a lot of friends. He's very well connected within the music industry and within Hollywood and popular culture too. So a lot of people sort of running for cover here. They don't want their photo with him and with Diddy and them sort of making those public rounds. But we've seen a lot of those sort of coming out in the last few days as well. But it's not looking good for him. Look, he's just been put on, as you pointed out as well, suicide watch. And we are still just now waiting on that trial date to be set.
It was about, I don't know, it was earlier this year, I feel.
They raided
I
his
remember
house or
the
something?
day we were on air, they raided his house.
that's
and
right.
And there was some conjecture as to whether P. Diddy had split in his plane and taken off. And then it all kind of went underground. But it would appear that in that time between when that happened 6 months ago or so and last week when they finally arrested him at a New York hotel, that what they've been doing is putting together their evidence. And they obviously feel very strongly about the fact that they've got enough to keep him locked up because, as you said, along these charges, there's also kidnapping, there's arson, there's bribery, there's talks about these things called freak parties. So they've been spending the last 6 months putting together what appears to be a very serious case against him.
Yeah, that's right. And just to pick up on that that point that you made there, these freak-offs. That's really at the centre.
Yes.
Yeah, freak-offs. It's at the centre of these charges. And essentially these were I don't want to call them parties, but they were these events that Diddy had hosted or he had arranged and produced, and it involved sex workers and a lot of women as well that had sort of been brought in, either drugged up or against their will to participate in these events. That's what's now being alleged against him. And as you point out, those prosecutors in this case, they had gathered that evidence much earlier in the year, and we saw those sensational pictures, really, of his mansions here in Los Angeles and in Miami as well being raided. Look, Diddy, he wasn't there at the time. He'd sort of jetted off on his plane as they went through those properties. They found weapons, they found some substances as well, those weapons that had serial numbers scratched off, so it raises questions what he was doing with them, what he was using those weapons for. So look, all of this is now featuring, and of course, we'd also seen those really harrowing, dramatic pictures of Diddy and one of his ex-girlfriends in a hotel, and essentially it involved him attacking her. It was that CCT footage that's really put this on the radar. Incredible stuff there, and it'll be used in evidence against him too when this does eventually go to trial.
That was horrible, that footage. That's the first time I'd seen it, where he was dragging that lady back to the room, and that was
he bashed her. He just
it was absolutely horrible. So Ash actually sent around this thing to us all yesterday that Eminem had written about it in lyrics in July. So was it like an open secret in Hollywood, whatever that, or in America, that he was like this?
Well, Eminem goes like the lyrics are so blatantly saying that P Diddy.
I'm like an R-A-P-E-R. Got so many essays. Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he? Yep.
It's unbelievable.
So do you think everyone knew, David? Was it sort of thing people whispered about?
It felt like that. It did feel like it was. It was often referenced in popular culture and sort of in interviews. Different celebrities would sort of allude to Diddy and his parties, they would sort of call it. It does seem that it was very well known, and that then raises some really serious questions. Why wasn't anything done for all of these years? This has now been alleged to be going on for as well. But yeah, it seemed like plenty of people were speaking at it at the time. Like, I haven't heard these Eminem lyrics, but that's not surprising at all.
Is it the same? Because Jeffrey Epstein was in that was the Metropolitan Correctional Centre. Because you mentioned he's on suicide watch. That's where Epstein took his own life, quote unquote. Is that the same facility, or is it a different one?
Yeah, it's the same jail, we understand. Whether or not it's exactly the same kind of area or the same unit within that prison system, not 100% sure right now. We can look into that. But, of course, that is then raised within sort of conspiratorial circles online regarding parallels between Jeffrey Epstein and P. Diddy here. Look, obviously, a lot of people would like to see P. Diddy make it to trial for his alleged crimes. In this case, of course, Jeffrey Epstein didn't quite make it to that starters line there on that case for some of those charges. So, yeah, they would like to see that, and they'd also like to know who else has been involved in this. If this was an open secret in Hollywood and within the music industry, was there anyone else involved in this?
And one of the things that has happened since Diddy got arrested is we've seen a couple of big name artists sort of withdraw their social media accounts and trying to distance themselves from any relationship that they had with Diddy. But are we expecting now that people will come forward? News of these freak-off parties and what was involved in that, which is, essentially orgies that they were having, and then being coerced into sexual activity with Diddy or any of his guests. In some type of way to further their career, but then Diddy has that over them. It's something that if he's been found guilty of, it's not new behaviour. This is something that he has been doing allegedly for a long time.
Well, that is the major question here. And to pick up on that first point that you made about some of these celebrities that had been associated with Diddy for some time now. And look, Usher was the first one that sprung to mind, and he's just had his online Twitter or X account now wiped clean. He's now just coming out, we've read today, and saying that he was hacked, and he said it's got nothing to do with any of the Diddy situation there. So he's distancing himself from it. But we've also heard from some people, some staff members who have worked for Diddy over the years, whether in a security or other service role. And look, they have made some of these allegations, and I think at some point that they will kind of treat it as maybe not too serious at the time, but now all of those allegations are being listened to with fresh ears now in the light of this indictment that has been unsealed. It is damning stuff.
Yeah, it could rock the music industry. In fact, and not just that, there's sporting, political figures and everyone that have been to these parties that has been documented. But we'll follow it as it unfolds, mate. And we appreciate your time this morning. David Woodward, the news, Channel 7 US Bureau Chief.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie Snackbox.
So I'm not too old to get a subwoofer, am I? We've been talking about this off air all morning, actually, with Buzz and a little bit of Lutzi involvement. So I've just got a new car. I'm so excited. I've got a little Suzuki Jimny. It's got hotted up wheels.
It does look cool.
It looks cool. Hey, I've been wanting one since I was about 20, I reckon.
You were umming and ahhing for so long about whether you should buy it as well.
Yeah. You know why?
6 months, I reckon it was.
Because Cliff, who I'm married to, was so against me getting a Jimny, it wasn't funny. And so it was one of those things that I really wanted to buy it because I don't know why. I just thought it'd be fun to have a really cute little four-wheel drive that I could maybe go to the beach with or whatever. Anyway, so I finally got one, and I got one with hotted up wheels. And Cliff finally came on board and actually did all the negotiations for it because we bought it on car sales. So that was really good. But now I want to hot it up, so I want to get a stereo for it. And I just walked into. I tried to find someone young here in the office who maybe.
Did you find anyone?
Who maybe had put because I asked Lutzi and Buzz if they had ever put car stereos in their car, but
we're the youngest members of the breakfast. So that makes sense.
And they reminded me that they actually buy cars that have pretty good car stereos in them.
Yeah, when you get to our age, usually the stereo's already in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just went across to Know-It-All Nick in the other studio. I ran across and go, Nick, have you got a good stereo in your car? And he goes, well, I would if I had a car.
Have you noticed he rides his bike to work?
With a boombox on the back of it.
He's so young he hasn't even got a car. But I've actually booked my car in to get a new stereo. So
what do you mean? You're getting a woofer?
Yeah, so I'm getting a head. You got to get a new head unit. I'm putting these speakers up in kind of next to the windscreen. These little mini ones. Yeah. Then I'm putting 2 new speakers in the doors.
At the back?
The front doors.
Front doors, yeah.
Next to me. And then in the boot of the Jimny, it's a 4-door, but the back 2 seats kind of go down. It's just like a little boot.
So you'll probably have the back seats down most of the time.
Yeah, the back seats are down. That's my...
But it's all enclosed in one space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the boot is...
It'd be close.
Yeah, yeah.
But the subwoofer goes on the side of the back. It's going to sound so good. And then, but Buzz just said, why do I need a subwoofer?
Yeah.
It just seems like...
Because you listen to the ABC.
The ABC, Craig Zonka will be coming through. Jeez, with those deep apples of his, imagine the subwoofer there.
Craig Zonka.
You're going to see that Jimny jumping all over. It'll jump from one lane to another.
Oh, God.
Even Loretta's got
Today's
a
feature artist is boom, boom, boom.
But you can't, if you're going to get a good stereo, you got to get a subwoofer, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't even know whether my car has it. The normal cars have subwoofers.
Don't think so.
Don't they?
I've got my thing has a Bose sound system. I think it's all built into the speakers.
So the subwoofer gives you the bass.
Essentially, yeah. The
So
low end.
Like your seat will be vibrating.
Well, I nearly got the subwoofer that went under my seat.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that. I've actually tried
That'd be a distraction.
I've actually tried a car.
Like if you listen to Barry Manilow on no, what's his name?
You gave it a test drive. It's just too much. Gene Pitney vibrating through your legs like that. I mean, it's too much.
I did. It was too much. It was too much. You could actually switch off the subwoofer in the car that I tried.
If you listen to Whitney Houston, I'll always love you with that thing going on.
That could actually.
You won't make it.
I can't wait to listen to. I've got a
What are
dream.
you going to listen to?
What are you?
80s music. I've got a dream of myself next year. This is my dream.
Next year.
Yeah.
We'll just do it now, but anyway, yeah.
Oh, well, next holidays.
Yeah.
Not the next ones. The ones after the next ones because I'm busy on the next ones.
What?
So I'm driving. I get to a beach somewhere. I don't know which beach. I don't know whether I'm just going to go to Stratty or I'm going to go to Fraser or where's the closest? Bribey. I think I can drive it on the beach at Bribey.
Oh, so you're actually going to drive it on the beach?
Yep. Even though Cliff said don't drive it on the beach, it'll get dirty and you just have to clean it.
Fun, isn't it?
Make sure
So many rules, Cliff.
Make sure you're underwater. You got to do the underwash stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you do, otherwise
it'll rust out.
Yeah.
That's what he said, and he'll be doing that. So that's
Don't
probably
you start. I know where he's going with his underwash thing.
It will rust out if you don't keep washing it.
Yeah. I have no, so this is me driving on the beach. The windows down, the wind in my hair.
Yeah.
Playing an 80s banger on my subwoofer.
Bet middle of the rose.
No.
Some say
have you got that one? Oh, what else?
what's a banger that would be? I'm walking on. Walking on sunshine. We play that a lot.
This one.
Susie.
The climb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. Wait, it kicks in.
This is
the rose.
This is the rose.
Yeah.
Can we get to the fast part?
Nope.
There isn't a fast part.
You think I got a hook in the system for this song?
Yeah.
There's no hook.
I don't think the subwoofer's helping this song.
Why are you getting it then?
Well, what's the one that you want then?
What about Girls Just Want to Have Fun? Or even True Colours by Cyndi Lauper?
You don't need a subwoofer for True Colours.
Don't you either? Well, think of a song.
This one. Technically, subwoofer.
And I've got my surfboards on the roof.
More of a treble song.
Maybe I'll drive up to Double Island just by myself. I'm going to have a little esky in the back
Nice.
with some ice and some food in it.
Nice. Some watermelon.
That doesn't sound fun.
Maybe you can get in the back and with the subwoofer once you get to your destination.
Do what?
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie Snackbox.